Good morning, good afternoon. It's Evergreen. Dr. T here. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And what does Valentine's Day symbolize? Love, friendship, sharing, caring, and it evokes happy feelings. So you notice the energy around the building this week. A lot of positive energy, a lot of smiling, a lot of hugging, a lot of laughing, and that's what joy and happiness provokes. When you feel good, you smile. When you have good thoughts, you smile. When things are going your way, you smile. But there's an opposite to that, and that's what we want to talk about today. And the word is grief. Grief comes in many forms. You might go, if you're younger, well, what is grief? Grief is when something happens to either you or someone you love in their life or yours that affects you. And it can affect you in many ways. Typically, people first think grief causes you to feel sad. And it can. And when I'm sad, I cry. I often want to sleep more than I normally do. I really don't want to be around people. I don't feel very social. And I learned from being a younger person, when I'm in those moods and dealing with my grief, it's probably best that I spend some time with myself so I don't say or do something that would hurt someone's feelings. Now, what we have to recognize is there's different events that can cause grief, and what may cause you grief may not cause the next person grief. I can remember when my grandma passed in 2002. That's 24 years ago almost. And when you lose someone you love, that causes a great amount of grief. When you lose an animal, I have two dogs, I love them dearly. But I had dogs before these two. And their time here has come and gone. And when it was time for them to no longer be with us, it caused grief. I was sad. I was depressed. These are normal feelings. You can't feel happy all the time. Sometimes grief comes your way. Now, what you have to do is recognize when you're grieving, and again, this is a very natural feeling. When you're grieving, what does it look like? Are you a person who becomes mean? Are you a person who doesn't want to talk? Do you become quiet? Do you cry a lot? Do you sleep a lot? Do you find that you get headaches? It can come out in many different ways. But the reason I wanted to talk about grief, because we oftentimes want to lean into the positives and the things that make us feel good. But unfortunately in life, you have some highs, but you're going to have some low moments in life. And you got to be able to maintain your responsibilities and all the things that you have going on in your life, because as they say, and you'll hear this a lot more as you get older, life goes on. And there will be times in life you either have already had to deal with or will have to deal with managing those sad, angry, frustrated feelings known as grief while maintaining your other responsibilities. For example, couple years ago. Now this is probably 6 years ago. I had a previous dog named Charlie, and Charlie was a great dog. He was a little Yorkie, and he weighed 10 pounds, but he thought he was a big dog. And my family, we had a great time with Charlie, but it got time. Charlie was about 9 years old, and he was getting older, and he was having some health issues, and we had to make the decision that, Charlie's time here was near to the end. It made me way sadder than I thought I would be. And I absolutely experienced grief. It made me sad. Coming home and seeing his empty cage or his bag of food or his food tray or food, where he kept his water, looking at those things became overwhelming to me. But at the same time, I couldn't stop being a husband. I couldn't stop being a dad. I still had to go to work. I still had to cut the grass. I still had to take the trash out. I still had to go to Giant Eagle. There were still responsibilities that I had to take care of. There will be times in your life where you will have to cope with grief. And it'll be very real. It will be very real. What you have to say to yourself is, I'm going to acknowledge these feelings. I'm going to be honest about these feelings. And while I make sure I reach out and talk to the people I need to help me through this time, I'm also going to handle my responsibilities. Now, let's talk about if you know or feel like you may be experiencing grief, what should you do? Number one, don't keep it to yourself. Did you hear that? Number one, don't keep it to yourself. Talk to people. Number two, ready? Don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you're reaching out. Let your mom know how you're feeling. Let your dad know how you're feeling. Let your teacher know how you're feeling. Let your dog know how you're feeling. Let the principal know how you're feeling. Let grandma know how you're feeling. Talk to someone. There is nothing wrong with telling someone you trust, I'm sad. There's nothing wrong with that. That is actually being strong, when you can admit how you're feeling and you're not having your best day. That's strong. Number three, don't keep it to yourself. So we got the 3 points. Don't keep it in. The best way to deal with grief is to make sure you're talking to people, because people will help you work through those feelings. And sometimes some of us, depending on a certain situation, may need more conversation or more help, because sometimes things get so heavy on our hearts, so heavy on our chest, it's like you can't breathe. I've been there. My grandma been gone, like I said, 24 years. I still miss her. Still. There are days when I think about her all day long. The grief is real. But I can't ignore those feelings. I have to be honest about those feelings. So make sure that while we are looking to be happy and joyful and overjoyed and experiencing the positives in the world, there will be a time where grief is the number one feeling you're feeling. Don't ignore the feelings. Don't try to press them down. Don't try to act like they're not there. The same way we show when we're happy, there's nothing wrong with showing that we're sad. As we go through life, unfortunately, we will have moments that we all deal with grief, and we are here to talk about it, to listen. You might need a hug, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that you know the people here at Evergreen are here for you. All right, Evergreen, I know we are celebrating Valentine's Day, and there's a lot of positive cheer. I can't wait to see all the Valentine I get. Have a marvelous day as we celebrate Valentine's, and it looks like it might be a little warmer next week. So happy Valentine's Day. Recognize your grief. Talk to someone about your grief. Don't ignore your grief. All right, Dr. T here. Talk to you soon.